It's the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded from Detroit, Michigan, and Jacksonville, Florida. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, album reviews, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Hello and welcome. And yes, my name is Russ. I am the one that's down here in Jacksonville, Michigan. And with me, as always, up in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Michigan, Jacksonville, Florida. Same thing, right?
Yes.
Up in Detroit, Michigan is the woman who so graciously corrected me with nope.
Detroit, Florida.
Yeah. Up in Detroit, Florida is Kyle and Michelle. And how are y'all doing this week?
Oh, fucking fantastic.
All right. Well,
it's my birth week.
First F-bomb of the show goes to Michelle. Yep. Fantastic.
Do we get awards for that now?
Yeah, we do. Speaking of which, Michelle, what did we talk about last week on the show? That's right, Michelle. We talked about 1984 versus 1991.
That's what I said.
A very important follow-up episode that we had to all of the other series of episodes that we did on 1991 and 1984, which were incredibly popular. Go on.
I drank a lot between then and now.
Yeah, right. Michelle did celebrate a birthday, as she mentioned on the last episode and this episode. And how was your birthday, Michelle?
I fell off a Segway. And then I went to Red Rocks. So, 50-50.
So, yeah, falling off a Segway, bad. Going to Red Rocks,
yes.
Great. Now, Kyle,
amazing.
Which experience was better for you, watching her fall off the Segway or going to Red Rocks?
Oh, this will be the second time I got to see her fall off a Segway.
First time for Red Rocks, second time seeing her fall off a Segway.
Yes.
So I guess it's not really apples to apples then.
No, Red Rocks is beautiful.
Red Rocks is beautiful.
So am I.
Yeah, I was going to say, but also Michelle falling off the Segway is probably a thing of beauty.
It was watching people freak out as she calmly gets up like she falls constantly is priceless to watch.
I didn't even get off his Segway. He was just like, "You good?"
Yeah.
And everyone else jumped off and they were trying to help me up. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
This literally happens all the time.
I was like, don't.
She literally looks around like, God, again. And I told her I'm going to start, whenever we do those tours, I'm going to start saying, whenever she falls off, I'm like, oh, not again.
Yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind everyone, this is the same woman who last week suggested that we have an Ask Michelle advice section.
Yeah, and if you were to ask me my advice on if you should do a Segway tour, it would be yes.
Fantastic. All right, let's get into the feedback.
Coming from the woman that can barely drive them.
Right. I don't even think she qualifies as being able to if she's fell off twice.
They have my picture hanging up at all the Segway places now.
Do not rent. Let's get into feedback from last week's episode.
Feedback, Joe.
Don't worry about that. Right. Where would rock and roll be without feedback?
So, as Michelle remembered very well, last week we discussed 1984 versus 1991. The Saturday Morning Podcast said to us, 1984 is the best year in music, hands down. So much brilliance during that year. Prince, Michael Jackson, Matthew Wilder, and a ton of others. Hello, take a look at me now. 1984 is the better year. There's also unappreciated artists like Denise Williams and Laura Branigan. Anthony, Taylor's version, writes in to us and says, I listened to your episode about 1984 versus 1991. I have to say this is a really hard choice. Ultimately, though, I would go with 1984 because it is my favorite year. Growing up as an 80s kid, I seem to have more memories tied to 80s music in general than I do any other year or even a decade. By the time the 80s or the 90s hit, my musical tastes were more narrow. Garth, Winona, Brooks and Dunn, Clint Black, Reba. I was a huge country fan during the majority of that decade. But even in 84, I was listening to a lot of variety, including some albums you brought up in the show and that I completely forgot about being released at that time. So as always, Anthony giving us great feedback, which is awesome. Blue Sky.
That's 2 in my favor so far.
That is 2 in your favor.
Not that I'm keeping track.
I mean, yeah, it's obvious that you're not keeping track. So I appreciate
Right.
I appreciate you mentioning that you're not keeping track.
I'll just keep my hands up like this, just 2 on one hand and none on the other.
You're
Okay.
playing rock, paper, scissors by yourself?
Yeah. I was going to say that's fantastic for people who can't see what you're doing right now because it's an audio podcast.
Can you see this?
I can see that. Blue Sky 28 says on Twitter, I'm so looking forward to your guys' new series. I haven't had time to give feedback lately, but I'm very much enjoying the new series as much as ever. The weekend review was cool, as was the Terrence Trent D'Arby one last season. Thank you so much for picking my album. Oh, and my 2 cents is that 1991 edges it out over 1984. Yeah, so you still have the count over there, Michelle?
Yeah, I still got it.
The Docking Bay podcast says to us, great episode. Looking forward to the cover battles. As I mentioned before, 1984 is my choice. My favorites released that year, but you don't get 1991 without 1984. So Michelle and I agree, and I guess it's true. Hashtag Michelle is great.
That is true.
Now, every so often we get a piece of feedback, and like Blue Sky 28 was one of them recently, and Will from the Limehouse podcast, where we get a piece of feedback and it just kind of takes you back, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that somebody is listening to us there in the world. Just got this piece of feedback today via Instagram, actually, from Notorious MN 1992 that says, first of all, I'm a new listener. I started listening to some of your old stuff, so I took your advice and I listened to the song Alyssa Lies. It was very sad, but I think the saddest song I've ever heard is Record Year by Eric Church. If you were ever in love at any point in your life, or he or she left you, you can easily relate to the lyrics, and they're just textbook and delivered perfectly. So that's interesting. I'm going to look that up because for me personally, Alyssa Lies is the saddest song ever in the history of the world. But I mean, I'll give this Eric Church song a chance and see.
I think it's about like one of the saddest subjects.
Oh, for sure. Like you can't write. Yeah.
I think it just automatically wins. Like heartbreak, yeah, but also like I don't want to say what it's about.
Yeah,
People go listen to it.
Yeah,
but
it's terrible.
The other one is like 1,000 times worse. But I'm not going to say that the Eric Church song isn't very sad.
Well, it's called Record Year, and I think that all three of us should at least try and listen to it and see what we think.
Do you think I'm going to remember that when we get off?
Not even a little bit. Notorious MN goes on to say, about the One Hit Wonders episode, here are some of mine. JoJo, Too Little Too Late, Omi, Cheerleader, Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe. I hope you read my message on the air. This is a new listener from Iran, which I think is amazing.
What? Iran?
Yeah, which I think is amazing, right?
That JoJo song is great too, by the way.
Yeah, it is, for sure. It's a great song. And he listed off some one-hit wonders we didn't even, like, I for sure think, like, Walk the Moon, you might be like, oh, it's too soon to say, but for sure that's going to be their biggest hit.
We did a show on One Hit Wonders.
We sure did. And rounding out the feedback this week is our old friend Seth. Left us a voicemail, so I've got that queued up for us to take a listen to.
Hey everyone, Seth again. I wanted to first thank Kyle for his advice, and I do plan on working through those albums and EP and getting back to you all. As far as your main topic, I would have to go with 1991 because, Nevermind and 10 are like just huge, like pillars in my music taste. Like I could listen to those, just like those two albums forever, basically. So selfishly, and for that reason, I will pick 1991, which I believe means that 1991 has won over 1984. Sorry, Michelle. But anyways, moving on to my real question is obviously for Michelle. Hashtag Michelle is awesome. I have a question. Well, I needed advice, and apparently you're the one to call in and get advice from. So, I moved into a new apartment about a few months ago. And I have this nice patio, and they said that they would power clean it, but there's still like some kind of like green residue and like discoloration on the sidewalk or like on the cement. So I was wondering like how you would go about getting rid of like those, the discoloration, if you have any tips about getting rid of like mold or algae or if you have any ideas of what else could be on my patio that needs to be getting rid of. So I really thank you so much for opening up the possibility for advice from Michelle, and I look forward to getting your answer. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
So, Michelle, you have opened the gateways, and now, first of all, let me ask you this. Do you even remember what Seth asked advice for on not 10 seconds later?
I do, and I have 2 words for you, Seth. Outdoor rug.
Just set it and forget it? Put a rug over it and
just cover that shit up, and because the rug really does tie the room together, right? So just get a nice rug.
Should he get like a really nice like AstroTurf bright neon green one so it looks like, natural grass?
I mean, I would have to see the space to see like how it fits in with everything, and like definitely you'd want to like match it to your throw pillows or like your outdoor furniture. But I don't see a reason why you could even play it into it, like maybe create like a little like outside oasis with this moss color. I mean, there's so many options. I personally would not get rid of it because I'm lazy as fuck, and I would just add to it.
I see. So
what a frightening segment this has become.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, hold on. I'm about to add on to it. So what we can do here, Kyle, is people can ask Michelle for advice, and then you and I can rate her advice. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Kyle, 10 being the best and 1 being a stinker, how would you rate the advice that Michelle just gave? From a scale of she would follow her own advice to she would never do that in 1 million years.
Oh yeah, that sounds exactly like something she would do and does do on a regular basis.
Just talk about it a lot and not actually do it.
Oh yeah.
I would not fix the underlying problem. I would just perfume out a pig.
She likes the Band-Aid method.
Oh.
Yes.
This is a woman who, when I was roommates with her, I would oftentimes say to her, why isn't the remote working? And Michelle, why wasn't the remote working?
Well, because you only have so many sets of batteries, so then you have to just take them from remote to remote to remote.
So instead of buying more batteries, you did what? You repurposed batteries from one remote to another. Yeah.
And you do the same thing with light bulbs.
So, Kyle, I totally agree with you on the Band-Aid method. So that's been our
expensive, yo.
That's been our new and unfortunate segment. Ask Michelle. Why you would is beyond me, but let's move along. Our jam. So oftentimes on our Twitter account, and I'm going to go first, Michelle. Sorry about that, but I'm going first. Oftentimes on our Twitter account, generally every other day or so, on our Twitter account, I will share just whatever song is stuck in my head. And this week...
Oh, I should follow us on Twitter.
I'm going to... You absolutely should follow us on Twitter. So this week I had 2 songs stuck in my head, and I shared them on our Twitter account. And when I did, on the first one alone, I got called an earworm terrorist for dropping these songs that are always stuck in my head. And then Dave, our friend from the Beer in Front podcast, said, "This is why Russ is awesome never trends," because I'm always dropping these earworms. And the 2 that were stuck in my head this week that I absolutely could not get out of my head was Goody Two Shoes by Adam Ant, which if you don't know off the top of your head, if you even push play on that on Spotify, you're going to be like, damn it, that's going to be stuck in my head all week.
Sing it.
Nope. And then the other one, I assume both of you know and everybody listening knows, and I have no idea why this popped in my head, but I had to listen to it like 10 times yesterday because it was constantly in my head, is I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. And I have no idea why it was stuck in my head, but it absolutely was, and I had to listen to it a ton. Those 2 things led down a rabbit hole of just listening to a whole bunch of stuff from 84. But Adam Ant, Goody Two Shoes, and Stevie Wonder, I Just Called to Say I Love You, were the 2 songs that I couldn't get enough of this week. Kyle, what is your jammy jam other than Kendrick Lamar, or is that it?
It's pretty much been all Kendrick Lamar.
I kind of figured, and I didn't mean that in a crappy way. Now you posted something on Facebook about this record being like a lot to unpack, and I saw a couple other people on Twitter say that as well. So tell us what you think of the record.
Called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and yeah, it's just it is not your typical Kendrick Lamar record. It's not your typical rap record. It just deals with a lot of heavy shit that you wouldn't normally encounter on a rap record, I guess. Okay.
But I mean,
I don't want to like give it away, but like you should absolutely go listen to it. There's actually a song on there that reminds me a little bit of Cam by Eminem.
Oh shit. Okay.
But it doesn't involve him killing somebody. It's just a very, very similar song, and it kind of like it sets the same tone. Yeah, it's a very, very heavy record, a very, very well done record, and I guess I just learned that was his last record on TDE, his record label. So I don't know what's happening next.
Am I making this up, or did he say once already that he was retired, and then this record came out after he said that, or did I make that up?
I'm not sure.
Okay. It's possible I made it up.
So many, frequently, so many rappers, retire and then come back very soon after. So I can never keep track.
I always say it's not just rap, brother. I saw Ozzy Osbourne on his No More Tours tour in 1991, and I saw Kiss on their farewell tour in 1995. And, so it's not just rappers, brother. So anyways, I kind of figured that was going to be your thing, because when you said that the record was a lot to take in, I really didn't see you making time for anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And actually I had been looking for it on Spotify, and it hadn't dropped yet. And then I don't even know what time it was. So I think he posted on Facebook that available now or whatever. And I was like, God damn it, now I have to go listen to this. And then I just got into it, and it's super heavy. So then it's like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like listening to this shit, but I can't stop because I'm already like halfway through the record and I need to finish it before I go to sleep. So yeah, it was a whole thing. But
I'm imagining through you a life what it would be like if my favorite artists still put music out regularly. I'd be like, wow, I'm super excited to hear this new music. But the artists I listen to like to wait, good 10, 15, 20 years between releases. Yeah. So last but so definitely not least, Michelle, what song have you been listening to?
So I have one jam and one not jam, but I would like to talk about.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Our jammy jams and Michelle's not jammy jam.
One jam.
Wait. Was it a jam at one time and you have consciously uncoupled from it?
No.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Matt Mason dropped a new single yesterday. It's called Blood Runs Red, and it is phenomenal. I think it has a Imagine Dragons sort of feel, which is fine by me. Kyle does not like Imagine Dragons, but
I do like Matt Mason, though.
Yeah, I would check it out. I know that we did one of his albums for the album review, and so if anybody liked that, it's definitely more Matt Mason, but I feel like it's just a little different. So
okay, that is your jam?
That is my jam.
Blood Runs Red by Matt Mason? Okay, and what is an unjam, Michelle? Tell us.
Well, my friends at the My Chemical Romance.
Oh, no. I've heard good things about this song. I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard good things.
I did not know it was coming out. And here I am just scrolling through Spotify, and I was like, oh my God, it can't be. Gerard has made another song. And I played it, and no thank you.
Oh, really? I am reasonably sure that on Twitter this week, I saw Seth say that the new MCR slaps. You would say that it does not slap.
I would say it unslaps.
Oh, my Lord. Sounds like there's going to be quite a fight after this episode.
I don't know if it's just because I still enjoy the same My Chem that I used to listen to. Like, it's still something that I would regularly put on. But that genre of music isn't something that I seek out anymore. So maybe that's it, Like,
you're above that genre now. Okay. I wasn't sure.
I was trying not to use those words, but since you said that, yes.
Since I said it.
Since you opened the door.
So but for real though, it's just not your jam at all?
I will say I've only listened to it twice. So like maybe it's one of those things where you just have to like when you start drinking IPAs and you just got to like choke them down. Like maybe that's what I have to do.
What?
But is that not true?
What do you mean? I like drinking IPAs.
But like when you first started drinking IPAs.
No, that is a you thing.
That's
everyone else likes IPAs when they start.
I love IPAs now.
Everyone else likes them from the start.
Myself to like them.
I very well remember when you had your IPA training wheels on.
And I had to plug my nose.
So you're saying that you don't like the song because Angsty Michelle has hung up her angsty coat?
I'm still angsty. I don't know what it is. Wouldn't you say I'm still angsty?
Yeah, you're very much still emo.
So I don't know what it is, but I guess Seth and I are going to fight next week.
So yeah, this is the first time I believe anybody has used our Jammy Jams to just point out that a new artist or that an artist put out music for the first time in a long time and they just didn't like it. So good use of the segment, I guess. Thanks for that, Michelle.
Well, I brought some stuff to the table. It just wasn't good stuff.
You sure did. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have a brand new series of episodes that we are going to debut, and they're going to be cover battles. And we have, I think, a pretty fun one coming up for the very first one. And when we get back, I'll explain how this is all going to work. And then we'll work our way through the very first cover battle. You are listening to the Infectious Group podcast on the Odd Pods Media Network.
Hey, I'm Pants and Saren.
This is Stevie.
And I'm Augie.
And we are BFYTW, a podcast all about playing games and having fun. Our games are usually based on British panel shows and game shows, but we'll play anything that captures our attention and imagination. Why? It's right there in the title.
You'll never guess what the F stands for.
Hey, it's Dalton.
And Sam.
We want to tell you about our podcast called Big 10 Plus 4.
Are you a college football fan who doesn't want to always be talking about the SEC?
Are you a college basketball fan who's tired of hearing how the Big 10 doesn't win in the Big Dance?
Then we're the show for you. Check us out each week on the Odd Pods Media Network. We bring you college sports with a Big 10 flavor.
Big 10 Plus 4. College sports with Midwest perspective. Blue collar and blue blood.
We are back. It's Russ, Kyle, and Michelle, the Infectious Groove podcast, and we are about to debut a very brand new segment in a very long series of segments. So if you are a long-time listener to the show, you know we always do a general discussion topic, and then after that we do an album review. And now we are adding a third type of episode to the rotation, so you can expect one of these every third episode. And we have a very long list of great covers that we're going to work through. So how these cover battles are going to work is at the top of each half of the episode when we get into our topic of discussion. I will tell everybody just some points about each version that I think are interesting, the original versus the most well-known cover or the most well-known to us cover, and then kind of how we do our album reviews. We'll each one of us will talk about what we like about the original. If we do, there might be, I know for me alone on our list, there's songs where I don't like the original or the cover, but we'll do what we do and try and find things we do like about the original, and then we'll go through each other talking about what we like about the cover. And then at the end, we originally were just going to say which one is our favorite and why, but according to Michelle, this needs to be there needs to be a winner. So clearly. So whomever majority rules, Michelle, is what we're going to say is the official favorite cover of Infectious Groove Podcast, correct?
Unless it's not the one I voted for.
Right. Kyle, you're saying, is that how you want it to work?
Yeah. However you think it should go. I'm impartial.
Well, to be clear, I don't need there to be a winner because I'm not petty and small like somebody else on the show, but someone on the show needs there to be a winner. So,
oh, you think I'm skinny?
That is a perfect takeaway from what I just said. So, Michelle, it's up to you then. Small? You want there to be a winner of this, yes?
Yeah.
And are you okay with it being the majority?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
I can sway somebody. I'm not saying who.
For our very first cover battle, what we have chosen is two giants of rock and roll in their very own way, very similar to each other and very different at the exact same time. The Rolling Stones, who did the original album track Sympathy for the Devil, are going up against Guns N' Roses, who did a cover of that song in 1994. So the original track, Sympathy for the Devil, is the opening track on the Rolling Stones 1968 album, Beggar's Banquet. And one interesting thing I wanted to point out about that song is that it comes in at 106 on Rolling Stone magazine's top 500 greatest songs of all time, not rock songs. So as a kind of a side note, would you both agree with that? That like, whether I'm not saying the original versus the cover here, would you agree that that's like in the discussion with some of the greatest songs of all time or no?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most recognizable songs of all time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Michelle?
I was just thinking, I don't even think I know 500 songs.
We have a whole backload of episodes that proves that for sure.
Yeah.
Also, like, how do you even do that? Anyways, I do think it's in the top 500 songs, but
maybe not 106.
Of all the songs ever made on planet Earth,
Guns N' Roses covered the song Sympathy for the Devil, and it is an interesting cover to say the least. It was included only in the closing credits of the movie Interview with the Vampire. So upon official release, it wasn't even like officially released on a GNR record or anything at the time. The latest thing the GNR had put out was the double Use Your Illusion albums in 1991. Then they put out the Spaghetti Incident, which in and of itself was a album of covers, but Sympathy for the Devil was not on there. Then they came up and put out this cover, and eventually it was officially released on Guns N' Roses' Greatest Hits in 2004, which is interesting because it wasn't a hit, but it was included on Guns N' Roses' Greatest Hits. And this song has, for GNR fans, has a very sordid history. At the time, you could, that meme you see of Charlie Day, I think it's probably from It's Always Sunny, where he's in front of a dry erase board with like a bunch of arrows pointing to a bunch of conspiracies behind him.
He's trying to find Pepe Sylvia.
Okay, that's more or less like what the band lineup of GNR looked like at this time. There's in the Guns N' Roses Behind the Music, Slash even says if you listen to that track, that's what the sound of GNR breaking up sounds like because of all the turmoil. Like Slash isn't even sure all of his guitar is on that. Like it's this other guy that joined, and I won't bore non-GNR fans with the history of it, but there was a high school friend that Axl had brought in to play on the track, and Slash did not want him on the track, and he's there, and it's a whole thing. But it exists, and it is a cover that is well known, whether it's through Notorious or not. It's a well-known cover of the song. So we thought it would be cool to kick off the series with something like that because it's two huge names, the Stones and GNR. And I feel like the Stones are one of those bands where a lot of people are like, oh, you can't cover the Stones. You know, like, oh, you just can't. You know, would you guys agree with that? Do you think the Stones are like untouchable, or do you think anybody should be able to cover the Stones?
Is there anybody you can't cover?
I feel like a lot of people think that people are untouchable. Well, Kyle, do you think that there's bands that you just shouldn't cover? And do you think the Stones are one of them, or no?
I feel like if the right band came along, they might be able to like adequately cover the Rolling Stones.
Fair enough. So they're not off.
But yeah, there absolutely are
off.
people. There absolutely are people that you like should not cover. You know, like I would go with like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and people who have something that you can't really replicate.
But you're not necessarily trying to replicate it all the time. I feel like some covers that are my favorite covers are different. Like
I do like when a different kind of artist does a cover differently too. Yeah, that's true.
Where you take the lyrics and I feel like I've heard several covers where the lyrics, when you set them to different music, not necessarily music, but either slow it down or you make it, I've heard people take rap songs and make them rock songs. It gives the whole thing a breath of fresh air. So I feel like that doesn't mean that it's not untouchable. I just feel like it just depends on what you're doing with it. If you're just going to replicate it, the same song over and over again, I think that's a bad cover.
Yeah. See, I feel the exact same way as far as that goes. And we have a lot of covers on the list that I think qualify for both, where it's almost exactly verbatim. But we also have a lot on the list that do a completely different thing from the original. And I think there's a lot to be said for both ways of doing things. I guess it really just depends on the song. So let me wrangle it back into these two specific covers. So Michelle, you get angry when we don't start with you, so we'll start with you. What do you like about the original? And yes, it's okay to say nothing, but is there anything about the original in particular that you really like?
I actually really like the song, and I don't, if you were to ask me at any day of the week if I was a Rolling Stones fan, I would be like, no thank you. But every time I hear a single of theirs, I'm like, oh, I love this song. So, like, I definitely think that I probably am a Rolling Stones fan, just secretly.
I feel like, let me put it this way. I feel like if we were to do an album review of Beggar's Banquet, you would be like, yeah, it started off strong with Sympathy for the Devil, and then I just didn't pay attention for the next, 38 minutes.
That's true. It needs to be hit after hit after hit for the Rolling Stones for me. But I really enjoyed it. It's a song that I really like that I kind of forget it exists, but it definitely, if it comes on the radio, I'm cranking that bitch.
Yeah.
So,
no, I hear that too. I think a lot of people are that way with Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the song a lot.
I just had visions of you. Michelle, what's your favorite Rolling Stones album? 40 Licks. Greatest Hits.
Oh, is that a Greatest Hits album?
Yeah, it absolutely is. One of like 70 Greatest Hits albums.
Yes, that's probably my favorite Rolling Stone album.
Kyle, what is it that you like about the original?
I like Michelle said, I would not consider myself a Rolling Stones fan per se. They do sing one of my favorite songs of all time, which is Beast of Burden. But it's just a good song. They do a great job with the song. It's catchy.
Fact, earlier today, I was like, "Did you listen to those songs?" And he was like, "Man, I don't even like the Rolling Stones." And then he put it on, and he was like, "Oh, I like the song."
Yeah,
yes, exactly that.
Literally.
As far as the Stones go, one thing about this song, really, too, that I don't think they did a ton of, but they definitely do in this song is lyric-wise. It's a lot of social statement going on in the song. If you really listen to the lyrics, which was not something that the Stones did a lot. There a lot of other people were leading the charge at that time for social and political statements. And
I think my gripe with the Rolling Stones is the fact that they are still trying to be a band.
Oh, like 100 years later.
Yeah, like I always forget like how big of a badass like Mick Jagger was back in the day, or like they all were back in the day when a lot of these huge songs came out. And then I look at them now and I'm like, God damn it, will you just please stop?
Dude, I'll tell you what though. I've seen the Stones twice. I saw them 20 years apart. I saw them in 1994 and 2014. And I very much wanted to go to the first show just to, first of all, it was 94. Second of all, it was much closer to the Stones' heyday, even though, still like 30 years removed from at that time. But dude, I went and saw the Stones again in 2014. And there's a lot you could say about the rest of the band at that time. Well, Charlie Watt was still awesome at that time, but there's a lot you could say about the rest of the band at that time. But dude, I'm telling you, Mick Jagger absolutely still had it, at least in 2014 when I saw him. Had it, in my opinion. Mick Jagger's job is to keep you staring at him, right?
Right.
And dude, I'm telling you, we were in Comerica Park, whatever, 40, 50,000 people. And there wasn't one person in that place that wanted to leave or stop staring at Mick Jagger.
Would you say he had moves like Jagger?
I would say he did. He did have the moves like Jagger, which, by the way, is my favorite Rolling Stone song. Moves like Jagger. Yeah. That's from that SNL skit when they're at karaoke with Mick Jagger and people are tearing up Stone songs in a bad way. And the one girl goes, wow, man, he's really doing a great Mick Jagger. He's got moves like Jagger. That's my favorite Rolling Stone song. So I oftentimes say that in public just to see if anybody is like, God, what an idiot.
People think we're idiots a lot in public.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Now, I fear for how this next question is going to go for everyone but me, because I have a lot of complimentary things to say about the cover in question, and I feel like neither of you are going to have anything complimentary to say, but we will reverse it this time and start with Kyle. Kyle, did you at all enjoy the GNR cover? And if so, what did you like about it?
No, I did not like it.
Son of a bee. This isn't going to go well.
I don't know what the whole intro of Axl
with 14 overdubs.
I don't know. It just it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
God damn it, Michelle. Yes, Axl Rose is the lead vocalist of Guns N' Roses, and so yes, all the vocals happening on the song.
No, that was Slash singing.
Yeah.
It did not sound like him.
There's like 3 Axls at the beginning, like the please allow me to introduce myself. He's talking and singing over himself.
Okay, I won't ruin my review. I'll wait till.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that. Kyle, please go on about your disdain for the Guns N' Roses cover.
He definitely put the Guns N' Roses Axl twist on it for sure. I just trying to compare the two together. Original is, in my opinion, so much better than that version.
I get it.
It was hard to get on board with it.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be on an island about that. Even within the GNR community, which in the GNR community, a lot of fans are just like, oh, no. They can do no wrong. Like everything they do is right. Like, even when Axl used to come on stage like 7 hours late, there would be people defending it the next morning. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, but even within the GNR community, there's some GNR fans that are like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. And then, of course, you have the whole faction that's like, oh, no. Everything he does is right. Not to be spoilery, but I kind of fall in the middle. Michelle, you had open disdain for this cover already. Was there anything you liked about it at all?
Well, why is it 1 minute longer than the original? And in my notes, I had who was doing this beginning part because it's awful. The talking, I didn't like it. There
were two vocals at the beginning, talking and singing over that, and they're both Axl Rose.
Oh, well, I didn't like it. Mark that down.
Well, I'll make sure he knows.
And you know how I feel about long songs,
right?
So that's strike number 2. But once you get past the beginning, I felt like it was tolerable.
That speaks volumes for Michelle.
Well, I was going to say, as a person who's a huge MCR fan and their latest single, Unslapped.
My Unjam Unslapped.
Yeah, for GNR to be tolerable, that's a big deal.
I mean, it's no Paradise City, but
right.
Fine.
Yeah, said the basic girl with her basic Paradise City opinion. Okay, so here's where I land on this. Here's what I like about it. First of all, I don't love the intro. I feel like either talk or sing. Like you don't need the overdubbing.
I don't like it.
You covered.
We know.
You covered that. Appreciate you restating that though. For anybody who wasn't with us 40 seconds ago, Michelle doesn't like that.
Still don't like it.
From a musical standpoint, I think the intro's fine. It's more or less an exact facsimile of the original, musically. at the beginning. The only thing is that Axl decided to overdub himself. Okay, doing the talking and the vocal. About I don't have the timestamps in front of me, but I want to say about quarter of the way through, there's a part where it stops and Axl goes ha ha, and then he like goes into his like mid-range voice, and from there out, I think Axl is absolutely on fire vocally. Like he sings the whole thing a full step higher than Jagger, and all the way through to the end. And now, Michelle, one thing you didn't like was the length of it. Okay, I think at the end when Matt Sorum is just giving his double bass a what for and slapping the hell out of every cymbal, and Axl just keeps yelling a little bit softer now, like way higher than the original and everything. And then I'm assuming whoever was in the studio is doing the hoo, over and over and over to the end. But they start ripping it up so much that it's like it turns into a hard rock song at the end. Like it's a whole level above the original, in my opinion, at the end. Like it's like almost a metal song by the end.
Yeah, but you know how I feel about jam bands. I feel like
Russ, you missed that little slide dad joke that Michelle put in there.
I did. What did I talk over? What'd you say, Michelle?
When you said the hoo part, she was like, "Was it an owl?"
Oh yeah. Sure. Mark me down as eternally grateful for you pointing that out, Kyle. I missed that slice of comedic brilliance. But for me, at the halfway point of this, it takes off like a son of a bitch.
And I feel like you're probably, I don't know, like didn't write down timestamps either, but I feel like what you're talking about is where I think the song picks up as well. But it's just too long, and I don't like the beginning.
If only GNR had you around the studio to help out, Well,
even better, they have me now.
Paradise City is like 6:30 or something.
Okay, well, this is 7 something. So
yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, if it were up to you, would Paradise City be like a verse and a chorus and that's it?
Yeah, they don't need the chorus that many times.
Oh. Yeah, if there's one thing people say about Paradise City is that there's too many of those darn awesome, amazing choruses in it.
Yes.
Kyle, do you agree with that you think that their cover is excessive in that it's too long, or is everything about it excessive?
It's not that it's too long. It's just I don't enjoy the Guns N' Roses twist they put on it, I guess, is what I can say. I don't know.
Where, I mean, at the end, they literally go nuts on it. Like, yeah. I almost feel like Matt Sorum was just like, we're an audio show, so people won't be able to see this, but you guys will be able to see it on camera. I feel like Matt Sorum was in there playing the end of that, and the guys in the sound booth just kept doing this at him. Like just being like, hurry up, faster, because by the end of that, he is just, I mean, like, Kyle, you'd agree, at the end of that, that's like metal drumming.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and so, but I like it though. I like that drive of it, and I don't want to say that they're like reinterpreting the song. I don't know if the intent was to like make it more intense to drive home the social message in the song. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It also could have just been a very tired GNR at the end of the 3-year Use Your Illusion tour, being like, please let's be done with this. Right. So I feel like I know how this is going to go, but I'm going to go through the motions just in case. Kyle, why is the Rolling Stones your favorite?
Overall, I just think it's a better done version of the song, and it could be because it's the original one. But
yeah, I feel like it's even hard for you to even openly compliment the Stones. So you've been backed into a corner where you have to.
I like so very few of their songs. Yeah, it's hard for me to be like, oh, because they're great, because I don't think that. But like,
right. But in a battle of a Stone song that you don't like all that much in the first place versus a cover of it, you like the cover even less than you like the original.
Yes, that's
okay.
Very well put.
That's fair. And to be honest, again, the only reason that I picked this as the first one is because GNR has a huge fan base. The Stones have a huge fan base. And even among both fan bases, not just GNR fans, there are Stones fans that really think that GNR outdid the Stones on this. And there are GNR fans who never want to hear it again. So I thought that's interesting between the two fan bases.
It is.
So, Michelle, why do you hate Guns N' Roses so much?
Probably because you like them so much.
That sounds like a solid reason.
I thought you were going to be like, aha.
Oh, no, I know that.
But I've never said it out loud.
Yeah, now it's not only been said out loud, it's recorded and going to be on the internet.
I don't even hate Guns N' Roses, and I don't really even love Rolling Stones. And I think this is one of those songs where the original is such a big deal that.
Let me rephrase this question to you specifically, because you are more on the fence about this than Kyle is. Like, am I wrong, Kyle? I don't want to speak for you. You are like definitive, right? You very much like the Stones version better than GNR, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, if we were at a party and someone said, put on Sympathy for the Devil, would you say to me, please don't play the GNR version? Or would you not care which version I put on?
I pretty much say that to you every time if someone asks you to play a song.
Just don't play the GNR version. So he's like, hey, my niece is going to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You're like, not the GNR version.
You're like, hey, let's play Thunderstruck. And you're like, hey.
Oh, it's always the Axl version. Axl rips that up. Come on.
Anyways.
You know, that's not on our list of covers because they didn't officially release it. But I'm telling you, Axl's version of Thunderstruck is the shit.
It is. If you want to be really bummed out, you can go and listen to the Motorhead version, which is even worse.
Of what? Thunderstruck?
No.
Oh, Sympathy for the Devil. Sympathy for the Devil. No, I do not want to hear that.
Yeah,
I love me some Motorhead. Now that makes me sad.
Oh, it's okay. You might like it. But anyways, I didn't mean to throw a third contender into here, but I just feel like the Stones did a better overall version just because I think it's perfect the way that it is. I don't really have any parts of it where I get bored or I'm changing the station and it's one of those songs where I'll turn it up when I'm driving, but it's also not one of the songs that I'll seek out. So I don't know if that makes sense, but
that does, because for me, the song, the GNR version doesn't even get started till like 2.5 or 3 minutes in.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk that I'm
right. But furthermore, near the end, when it really starts ramping up and the double time kicks start happening, that's where I get all excited and where you would be like, this isn't over yet. Damn it.
And I like checking my watch.
Yeah. So for me, I already have mentioned this several times. I truly do like the Guns N' Roses version of this song better. But I think it comes from a couple of things. Number one, from about 2 minutes in or so, somewhere around there, I think Axl absolutely destroys Mick Jagger vocally on this, like the way he's pretty much screaming the song. And many could argue that's really the sweet spot for Axl Rose's vocals is around 1993, 1994. So I think overall it's some of the best vocal work that Axl's ever done. And all bullshittery aside between who played on the track and whether Slash was happy with it or whatever, I'm going by the end product. And I think that as a band, they sound on fire. Like, and again, I get, Michelle, that like, we want to hear the extended jam at the end. Like Kyle, you're fine with hearing the original as it is. But for me, the way that they ramp up at the end really takes the whole song up another level. Like, let me put it this way. If I was driving along listening to Sympathy for the Devil by the Stones, and it gets into the very end part, where Jagger's yelling, tell me, baby, tell me what's my name, my speed will remain the same in the car. If I'm listening to GNR's version and Matt Sorum starts doing the double kicks and Axl starts with a little bit softer now, a little bit, like I'm adding easy 10 miles an hour to my speed. You know what I mean? Like it just gets me going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
So I like that a lot better. So it sounds, Michelle, by your rules, that this is a 2-1. The official stance of the Infectious Groove podcast is that the Rolling Stones original version of Sympathy for the Devil is superior to Guns N' Roses cover of Sympathy for the Devil. Is that what you're saying is our ruling?
That would be the official ruling. I wanted to ask everyone, I guess that, never mind.
Please continue your wildly disjointed thought.
I was going to say, would you recommend the cover to somebody? Like, how we ask if you would recommend the record?
Oh, okay. I could add that as a question for us to discuss going forward, and we can also start it right here, right now, if you'd like to.
I was just thinking that, I wouldn't deter people from listening to the GNR version. It's just not in my wheelhouse.
Well,
I didn't know.
Let me put this twist on it. If someone said to you, oh, I've always wanted to love that song, but God damn it, I hate the Stones. Would you be like, oh, well, you should try the GNR version? Or would you be like, no, if you don't like the GNR version, you ain't going to like this? Or Stones version. Sure.
Rather. I feel like if you don't like the Stones version, you could check out the GNR version. It's similar enough, but it's also, they put their own spin on it that I could definitely see somebody finding a new appreciation for the song.
Gotcha. Kyle, I feel like this might have a twist for you. Like, is there any instance where you would tell someone they would dig the GNR version, or is this just a no for you, dog?
Well, if someone was like, yeah, I really hate the Rolling Stones, does anybody else sing this? I would say, you know what? I really hate the Rolling Stones too. And then I would say Guns N' Roses does a decent cover of it.
A serviceable version.
Yes.
of the song. That's fair. And Michelle, I will add that to our questions going forward. That will be the last question. So we'll ask which one does everyone like more, and then we will cover if there's a version you would recommend. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a dumb question because I mean, it's not necessarily the same question as what do you?
It's definitely not the same question. It's absolutely not the same question, in my opinion. Okay. So that was us talking through our very first version of this cover battle situation. And again, with this, I know this is a divisive one between two divisive bands. And that's why I wanted to pick this one first, to really kind of come up with one that I think there's going to be a lot of dividing opinions on. And we have an enormous list of awesome covers to go through, awesome original songs and covers. And there's going to be ones, we have some on the list where like I'm already looking at the, 3, 4, 5 ahead, and I'm like, well, I don't want to make that choice. So I think it's going to be awesome. When the program returns next week, we are going to be back on an album review episode, and it is going to be my turn for an album review. So as we usually do at some point on our social media, a couple of days after everyone is hearing this episode, I will put up what the cover of the album is that we're going to review next week. And then when we get back into, after that, we'll get back into like a regular topic of discussion, and we'll circle back to these covers. But I would like to hear from everybody. As we always say, we have our hotline you can call, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any way you want to get at us and let us know which cover is your favorite, or which song is your favorite, the Rolling Stones original version of Sympathy for the Devil or the Guns N' Roses cover from 1994. That is everything we have for you this week, and it's going to be exciting. Michelle, are you excited about me picking an album for review next week?
Yeah, totally. Yep.
Are you pretty sick for next week, Michelle? Like we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Bye. The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Casalecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.